don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.
Hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
That's right, folks. Absolutely free. Make sure you stop over there at mypillow.com. Use promo code Oreo. Go to the website. Check it out. They have all kind of great things that you can purchase. And not only that, you're helping out an American-made product because we are America first here. And you're also helping out this platform at the same time. Welcome all to Oreo Express. Josh here. Wednesday, May 21st. I hope you're all having a good day. I'll be honest. The show was kind of prepping the show last night and this morning. I was like, man, I hate when we have to do these shows. There's just nothing grabbing until Trump met with the South African president. And let me tell you, what happened in that Oval Office was absolutely epic. We're going to get into that shortly. I love the fact that Trump uses that Oval Office to call out foreign leaders like Zelensky and everything else. They're on the largest stage that they'll ever be on. We're going to get into that. We got some other stuff to talk about. We got another rogue judge wanting to return child rapists back to the United States. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the DOJ. Under the Biden administration, the DOJ was attacking police departments. We covered over the last 4 years, especially like in Portland and New York, these protesters that were assaulting police, that were destroying the city, and then end up suing the city and getting like $5 million lawsuits, these protesters. We've seen it multiple times. And then now we have the DOJ that when it was under Biden was suing a lot of these cities for police reform and everything else. Well, we have that where the DOJ is dropping those lawsuits, allowing the police departments just to do their job. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But it's going to be a good show, man. I'm telling you, the Trump stuff is absolutely epic. He puts up a video because he starts talking about the white genocide in South Africa. You know how the media has just been in a frenzy. They've been losing their mind because 59 white people were allowed to come into the United States, and the liberals are just upset. And so we're going to get into all that. I hope you're all having a good day. Let me jump into the comments really quick. Kay, Texas, rolling down the road, listening in. Awesome, Kay. Glad stay safe out there on the road. Sugar Bear, hello. Kimber. Julius. C. Marsha, Freedom Cowgirl, Granola Bar, Susan K. Spencer, C. Marsha. Trina's in the house. Thank you, Trina. And let's see. JH Candy Bar, how are you? You were lucky, number 7. Karen Sunflower, Gold Card Karen's in the house. Good afternoon. Glad the weather's looking a little better where you are, Karen. Crazy weather in some of the areas. I was watching some of those tornadoes. Jan Doe. Old Uncle Bill made it, guys. Old Uncle Bill made it. You said that he wouldn't be able to make bail after that arrest last night, and I disagreed with y'all. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. You know what? I got the strangest thing I got to talk about today. So, and I don't know when we got it. We got it earlier this week. It's what, Wednesday now? So I haven't. Rachel checks the mail. She usually sets it on the counter. And I'm making Caden breakfast this morning. And I look over there and I see a letter from Superior Court of California, County of Fresno Traffic Division. And I'm like, why is that addressed to me? And then I open it up and it's from the county saying that I have a ticket, a citation that I received. It's got a citation on there. And that I could pay the fee. I can request traffic school. I can show proof of correction. That's if the violation is marked correctable. Request a fine deduction. And I was like, what's this? And the fine is $270. So I got online because I haven't had time. I still got to look through this, but I jumped online to see if I could pull something up online. And of course you can't. I haven't got a ticket. The last time I got a ticket was last year, and it was in North Carolina when we were going back for that convoy on the Take Our Borders Back convoy. I was being a bad boy and speeding. So I Googled, okay, what fine in this area is $270? And it says speeding. And then I was like, no. I'm like, Rachel, I haven't got a ticket, right? She's like, no. And I go, I got pulled over because our tags hadn't came in the mail yet, but I didn't get a ticket. And I'm like, so I'm not too sure what this is, but I'm going to let y'all know. Because I told Rachel, I go, are they going after me again? Because if so, we'll play ball. But that's just crazy. I haven't received a ticket in California in years, even though I drive all the time. Knock on wood. But I don't know what it is. Josh, I was only questioned about you. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, Uncle Bill. Maybe not in this administration, but I wouldn't doubt the FBI was questioning a lot of people about me over the last 4 years. I mean, hell, they showed up to my house over 15 times. But let's get into it, guys. This is going to be epic. So I'm going to show you a couple different video clips, but we're going to talk firecrackers, fireworks right now. I just want you to know before I even play the video, I voted for this. This is a leader. Donald Trump is, he's just impressive. He doesn't play the political correctness game. He calls it out like it is. So watch some of these videos. Some of them are shorter videos, but and I like a president who, even though we're sitting there having a cordial meeting, I can call you out and I can speak some truth right in front of you. And I can tell you, the South African president, I'm sure he was not happy. Take a look.
Things you've been reading about in the papers and the media. And I would say that, look, the president is a truly respected man in many, many circles. And in some circles, he's considered a little controversial. But we're going to be discussing some of the things that are taking place in South Africa and see if we can help. And we want to help. And we've had a long relationship with South Africa.
Look at him looking down right there, the South African president sitting there thinking like, oh, man, this is not going to be a good day. Now, what Trump is talking about is the actual genocide going on in this country or in this world. And our country is standing against it. Over the last, what was it? Was it last week? Early last week? I think it's already been over a week that they had refugees from South Africa, and the media lost their minds. It was even brought up yesterday on the hearings in Capitol Hill. What was it? Was it Tim Kaine? I think it was, right? That said, that was upset because they were white and questioning Marco Rubio. And Marco Rubio goes, "You're the only person focused on skin color." I mean, it was an epic takedown. They had a horrible day on the hearings. Democrats did. And listen to some of this other video, and then we're going to get into the this is when Trump talks a little bit more about that genocide. Take a look at this.
People, I must tell you, Mr. President, people that feel they're being persecuted and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution going on. And we had a lot of people. I must tell you, Mr. President, we have had a tremendous number of people, especially since they've seen this. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa, and it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that, because I know you don't want that. It's a kind of a different meeting. Normally, we have meetings, we talk about trade, and we'll be talking about trade and other things. But that certainly will be a subject that comes up. Yeah.
Just, man, I just, it's got to be worse than going to the principal's office, guys. It's got to be worse than going to the principal's office. It's like you got your hand in the cookie jar, you got the evidence in your pocket, and the police are getting ready to search you. It's just epic. But that was nothing. That was nothing. Listen to this reporter, and again, have to say white Afrikaners.
Can you explain to Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protected status revoked?
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions that...
Right, there just leans over to the president of South Africa and starts bagging on NBC. Like, gosh, and you know what? I'm just going to say this. I'm not changing subjects because we're going to focus on this because we got a video to show you. But after what we've learned about the Biden cover-up, even though there's still some are still trying to cover it up, his health, his cognitive decline, everything else, what we learned at COVID, what we learned in the 2020 elections, like anybody that thinks legacy media has any credibility whatsoever, you are part of the problem. Now, I get it. Some of you are brainwashed. I get it. Some of you have your head in the sand. You don't want to believe. But again, all this reporter is worried about is the color of their skin. So Venezuelans, we interviewed them. They're not coming here because they were being persecuted. They weren't being murdered by the communists or their government. Quite actually the opposite. They were coming here. One of them that we interviewed wanted to be a social media influencer here. That's why they came into the United States illegally. Others said, well, there's just more economic opportunity, which is not a claim for asylum. I know Democrats want it to be, but that's not. You have to be in true persecution. You have to be starving dead and in a region where you can't eat or anything like that. There has to be good cause. And I just love that President Trump calls out the fake news. Listen, I'm going to finish this.
To Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protected status revoked? Well,
this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions, they're statements. We've had tremendous complaints about Africa, about other countries too, from people. They say there's a lot of bad things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. When you say we don't take others, all you have to do is take a look at the southern border. We let 21 million people come through our border, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. They came from all over the world. In many cases, they're criminals. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions. They come from street gangs. They're drug dealers. So don't say that we didn't take them. We're taking. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can. And we're doing record business on that. And we just won a big case where we're allowed to send back hundreds of criminals to Venezuela. Just won that today in the Supreme Court. I'm happy to hear. But we do have a lot of people are very concerned with regard to South Africa, and that's really the purpose of the meeting, and we'll see how that turns out. But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. And we had a lot of people. I must tell you, Mr. President, we have had a tremendous number of people, especially since they've seen this. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa, and it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that, because I know you don't want that. It's a kind of a different meeting. Normally, we have meetings, we talk about trade, and we'll be talking about trade and other. But
and is this where it gets epic? This is where it gets epic. So Trump don't only talk about it, he pulls up receipts in the White House, in the Oval Office, and shows a video of the South Africa's communist leader chanting to kill white farmers. This is being done in the Oval Office. This is after the South African president tried to deny that there was a genocide happening in this country. Take a look at this.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. Will require no permission from you, from the president.
He's like, damn, this fool brought receipts.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With
Look at him. He looks really uncomfortable. And look back at Trump like, oh, damn.
or without you, people are going to occupy land. Will require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. Okay, we can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South African occupy land. That's who we are. So what to do? How can we withdraw my membership from this useless parliament? Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot, kill, no, sir. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
This wasn't just great because we've actually covered some of this stuff months ago, probably almost a year ago. This has been going on. And this was a slap in the face to mainstream media that had to cover this today, because over the last, I don't know, since the 59 white South Afrikaners came here as refugees, you know, the left and the media, they've always been all for refugees. They put refugees, what they consider refugees, in front of American citizens. I just thought this was epic, and we'll look for some other highlights first. But while this is going on, the White House releases the video puts it all over social media. We're going to play that for you right now. It says, White House just shown in the Oval Office proof of persecution in South Africa. We're going to put this up on the screen right now, guys.
Whatever you want to do, I can withdraw my There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land.
Yes.
South African occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable
Do whatever
member,
you want to
Deputy
do.
Speaker,
You can
Deputy
withdraw my
Speaker,
membership from
Deputy
this
Speaker.
useless parliament.
Honorable. Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Nyamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa.
Is that Ian Omar?
Nyamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill. Nyamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa. Shoot to kill. Nyamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we've not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies.
Uzochuchulwa uliphuno sizokushaya uzobaleka tu sizobadula azobaleka tu sizobadula azobaleka tu.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
What an epic display inside the White House, in the Oval Office. And after we got some more stuff on this, but just think about that for a second. Mainstream media worked all week to cover up all those things, to say nothing's going on over there. And all they've worried about, instead of focusing on this, like, okay, I get it. There's a lot of opportunities that these people want gotcha questions for President Trump, his administration. We watch those hearings all the time. It's not about making life for me and you, the American people, any better. It's quite the opposite. It's for making the person they're questioning look bad. And look at Trump's response to this reporter. After all this is played and he takes questions from the press, you can guess. Look at this.
Okay. Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One. Perhaps
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know,
the Pentagon.
You gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC because.
Once again, they haven't focused on the $5.1 trillion investment. That media hasn't even covered it. All they've worried about is this jet that they're coming. And after seeing that video, having the president of South Africa there and having an opportunity to ask a real question and create real dialogue for the American people, like, hey, I think a lot of people might be seeing this video for the first time. I guarantee I deal with a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that aren't into politics. Most of them lean Republican. But a lot of times when I see them, they're like, hey, tell me what's going on. I haven't been paying attention. And they want to know what's going on in the White House. They want to know what's going on with foreign trade. They want to know because they don't do it. So a lot of people were forced to see that video for the first time with the South African president sitting right there. And mainstream media does what it does best and try to let's take the focus off this and let's go to the Trump derangement syndrome. And it's just incredible. Let me see if there's anything new that popped up on this before we get into the rest of the show. That was absolutely epic today. President Trump is just incredible. Look at ABC News. I just want to show you how unfounded claims is what they're saying. President Trump and South African President Ramaphosa engaged in a back and forth at the White House over Trump's unfounded claims of genocide against white South African farmers. Yeah, unfounded claims. Let me see if there was anything else on here. The South African president apologized, saying, sorry, I don't have a plane to give you, playing the victim. And listen.
It talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay.
Love it. I just love it. Let's see. South African president also asked Trump to make an investment in South Africa and claims that will stop the rampant criminality and genocide happening under his watch. Listen to this.
Criminality thrives when people are unemployed. Our main real reason for being here is to foster trade and investment so that we are able to grow our economy with your support, and so that we are also able to address all these societal problems, because criminality thrives when people are unemployed, when they have no other hope to eke out a living. So that is what we need to resolve. Our main real reason for.
I hope Trump bites on this. Again, South Africa could be a major partner. Again, anything that gets us, in my opinion, gets us out of China and builds a better relationship where, again, I don't think he's absolute. I mean, South Africa, some of those places are extremely beautiful. Other places is impoverished. And I think right now is a great time to for some type of deal, because I promise you, you're not going to get the headaches you get with other countries. You're not going to get somebody saying, hey, we're not going to allow your product to ship here. But he admits to the genocide right there, the assumed genocide, or the unfounded claims of genocide. I just want to say, folks, I voted for this. I never in a million years expected this presidency to be as good as it was. The things we are doing, and I get it, there's a lot of things we have laser focus on. We're like a cat with a laser pointer, and we think about this over here, and we forget about all the other stuff that's been done, the secure border, the deportations that are happening, even, and we're going to get into it, with judges' orders to return child rapists. I just think that this is absolutely epic. And then Trump unleashing on these horrible reporters. Just seeing something right here. Let's check this one out. And then we'll move on.
This in particular has been very, very bad, very bad.
Could be in place should you not be satisfied that South Africa is fixing some of the very bad things, in the comments that you tweeted, are happening?
Well, there are a lot of bad things happening in many countries, but this in particular has been very, very bad, very bad. And because of we're going to have the whole world watching in another short period of time, because you have the G20, and that's a big deal. And it seems like. I want you to look good. I don't want you to look bad.
Very good.
But we have hundreds of people, thousands of people trying to come into our country because they feel they're going to be killed and their land is going to be confiscated. And you do have laws that were passed that gives you the right to confiscate land for no payment. You can take away land for no payment.
I want to clarify that, because we have a constitution. Our constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership. And that constitution protects all South Africans with regard to land ownership. However, we do say, because we've got to deal with the past, the government, and as your government also has the right to expropriate land for public use.
And you're doing that.
And we've never really gotten underway with that. And we are going to be doing so.
You're taking people's land away.
We have not.
From them. And those people, in many cases, are being executed.
Yeah.
They're being executed. And they happen to be white, and most of them happen to be farmers. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough situation. I don't know how you explain that. How do you explain that? They're taking people's land away. And in many cases, those people are being executed. And in many cases, it's not the government that's doing it. It's people that kill them and then take their land, and nothing happens to them. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country. They're also going to Australia in a smaller number. Mm-hmm. But we have thousands of people that want to come into our country, and they're white farmers, and they feel that they're going to die in South Africa. And it's a bad thing. Yeah, please.
Just calling them out. There'll probably be more on our second show today. We'll recover this because it's so big. Hey, old Uncle Bill, thank you so much for gifting that subscription over here on the Oreo Express. We appreciate you and we thank you guys. And just a reminder, this week we are trying to raise the funds for the hotel in DC. We are going to be in DC in 3 weeks. We are going to be bringing you live coverage of the event down there. They're going to have the anniversary 250th birthday celebration, if you will, for our armed services. So there'll be a military parade in the streets of DC, and we're going to be on the ground covering it. We're going to be covering some protests down there. We have our plane ticket right now, but if you would like to donate and help us out, we would appreciate it, because we want to, again, by Friday, get that hotel room reserved, and then we'll only have to worry about a rental car and food for this trip. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has blessed us with a donation. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army. Then we have our GiveSendGo, which is givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And we also have a Zelle link. If you do online banking and you want to do a Zelle transfer to us, we accept those as well. You can head over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. And on our homepage right there, you scroll down a little, there'll be a donate now button. We appreciate you guys. We can't do it without you. And we want to say thank you. You can also do Rumble rants right here in Rumble. And again, no amount is too small. I mean, 20 people donate $5. That's $100. You get 20 people to donate $20. That's $400. It all helps us out in the long run. We want to say thank you. Moving on. Just a follow-up from yesterday. Yesterday in our show, we covered that there was a Hawaiian Airlines flight that had a bomb threat in San Diego. The plane was evacuated. Now they're getting a little bit more information. Let me show you this video, and then I'll read it after this video right here. But there's a video right here, and what the video is showing is you have, looks like probably SWAT walking through the plane and checking out everything, getting ready to evacuate the passengers on that plane. And so what we are finding out is a Navy technician was arrested after he allegedly made a false bomb threat on a Hawaiian Airlines flight departing from San Diego for Honolulu, prompting an evacuation and an aircraft search. Authorities say electronics technician, first class John Stee, 35 years old, told a flight attendant that the passenger next to him had a bomb, prompting the plane to taxi to a secure area, evacuate nearly 300 passengers, and undergo a thorough search. No explosives were found, guys. No explosives were found. I don't know if we're going to get more details on that, but I wanted to follow up on that story. Another follow-up. Last week, was it last week? It's Wednesday. It might have been early this week, but I think it was last week. We covered a jailbreak in Louisiana where 10 inmates escaped. As of right now, they did arrest a maintenance worker at the prison, supposedly saying that he allegedly helped them escape. And right now, I believe, if this is the latest update I could find, 4 have been recaptured. One of them, I should have brought up the video. One of them, I guess you could sit there and say, we're not a fan of criminals. But I think smarter criminals probably aren't sitting behind bars right now. This criminal that escaped was literally sleeping right out in the open on a bus stop, and he was woken up to be arrested. So maybe that could go on the highlights of stupid criminals, but 4 of them have been caught, 6 remain, and at large with $20,000 bounties on their heads. And that's not dead or alive, so don't get all excited. Oh, Uncle Bill was loading up his AK-47 right now thinking, oh, man, we're going to get Josh to D.C. We're going to get him a hotel. No, Bill, just chill out. It's not that kind of bounty. Well, and then ABC News reported this today, and take a look at that. Embattled Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan, say that 100 times fast. Embattled Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson announced on Wednesday that she is suspending her re-election campaign a day after she accepted blame for the escape of 10 inmates from the New Orleans jail that she oversees. So there's still 6 out on the run. She's suspending her campaign right now because she's taking some of the blame for that. And again, we just wanted to update you. We hadn't talked about that since the day we reported on it. And we've also been reporting on this Starbucks strike. I'm sorry. There's people that want to go dressed to work as like Tickle Me Elmo. And I'm not exaggerating. And we've covered since the day of the strike. We know that Starbucks is under new senior management. They're kind of reining in some of their woke policies and ideology that the company focused on for so long. And so we've covered a couple different protests where they're walking out. They're saying this is a violation of their civil rights to have a dress code at work. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Parents, you did very horrible with these kids, just to let you know that. And this one here was interesting. This is a masked trans activist Starbucks employee. And this person is claiming that Starbucks is breaking the law. Take a listen.
Of customers we were facing. And my coworkers are out on strike in protest of the company's change to the dress code, which is extremely costly for partners, makes them vulnerable to discipline. The company is emboldened right now by this current political situation to break the law without consequence. There are real issues that affect Starbucks workers every day. Like even today, we were extremely understaffed and ill-equipped to take care of the volume of customers we were facing, which is one of the many things we're trying to actually resolve with a first contract. We're calling on Brian Nickel, our CEO and the company, to bargain in good faith with us and settle a first contract that brings real changes like improved staffing and better health and safety protections on the floor instead of shallow nonsense like the dress code. And my coworkers are out on strike in protest of the company's change to the dress code, which is
illegal change to the dress code, folks. Illegal change to the dress code. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to think. So I haven't worked in a lot of places where I've worried about a dress code. I've always in management. I dressed, button-up shirt. Fridays was casual. I'd wear my Wranglers with my cowboy boots on Friday. Maybe once in a while on Friday wear hats. We didn't have that. We had, I've worked in manufacturing where I was in management for purchasing, and we had rules we had to abide by. We couldn't go on the factory floor without goggles, steel-toe shoes, and in certain areas, whether it was welding areas, sometimes we had to wear certain things to be in welding areas. We worked with real thin sheet metal at one of the companies. So you had to have gloves in there, even if you weren't touching the metal, because they have to protect themselves, right? They want to keep their employees safe, keep themselves safe from lawsuits. Again, Starbucks is rebranding themselves back to the Starbucks that really jumped up in the world. I mean, think about it. I travel a lot. And one thing we notice is a lot of places, and maybe not in smaller areas, you have those homegrown coffee shops. But you can go to place. We're going to be in DC. You can literally walk one block to another, and there's a Starbucks on same side of the street. They got that way because, well, people love coffee for one, but two, you could go in there and get a good cup of coffee back in the day and be in and out of there in no time. And then they started getting all foo-foo with their drinks and trying to do all this. But their new CEO came out and said, listen, we're going back to the basics. We want we want to. And if you go to my favorite fast food, I think you guys know, In-N-Out. I promise you, you go on one In-N-Out, it almost looks exactly identical because that is branding. They want you to go get a great burger here in Clovis and a great burger in LA. They're going to be wearing the same color uniforms, the same color aprons. They're going to have the same items on their menu. That's what companies do. And it's amazing. I don't know this person's background. I'm assuming public education, and this is where what public education has brought us. It's this entitlement mentality. You are the victim. This person, he, pretending to be a she, he complains that they were busy that day. If you don't like the job, quit. Go find another job that's better for you. I did that. I left a company because I thought the grass would be greener, went for more money. And once I was there for like 6 months, I was like, oh, hell, I don't like this. I don't like their policies. I don't like this. I'm no longer there by my choice. But these people that think that, and this is just the thing that's bad about unions. And again, if you see these people in this union and you've seen these protests, you know these people are probably not hireable. And I'm not bashing baristas by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not hireable in many other customer service industry other than like fast food, which I would call Starbucks a fast food industry, right? What else do we got? Oh man, the same people that are protesting Starbucks, Columbia University grad students and pro-Hamas protesters burn their diplomas outside of the university during student graduation. Oh, guys, I am this entitlement. You know, there is a lot of people that weren't able to go to Columbia, some hardworking children, some kids that graduate, and they would dream of going there, and they don't get that opportunity, and other people just shit on it. Take a look.
Blew that photo up.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! We say justice, you say how? We say justice, you say how? Hands off our students now! Hands off our students now! We say justice, you say how? We say justice, you say how? Time us from Israel! Up with liberation! Up with liberation! Down with occupation! Down with occupation! Up with liberation! Up with liberation! Down with capitulation!
What's that one say? A gender studies degree?
Capitulation! Up with liberation! Up with liberation! You can't hide! You can't hide! You're committing genocide! You're committing genocide! Columbia! You can't hide! Columbia! You can't hide! You're committing genocide! You're committing.
Now, after doing all that, they're going to complain that they shouldn't have to pay their school loans and that you, the taxpayer, should be on the hook. And guess what? Democrats will agree with them. This is just what we're seeing in today's society is just absolutely insane. Now, this one I wanted to bring to you guys, and I think I'm going to do a premium live and bring back some of the old stuff because some of our videos are going viral about this. How many remember Taylor Toronto? Taylor Toronto was somebody who joined, I can't remember if he was in the People's Convoy or not. He probably was, but he was definitely there in the 1776 movement. We've done live streams about him before. He was the one that live streamed outside of Obama's house. He was the one that said Ashley Babbitt wasn't murdered. I mean, he's an absolute loon. And I just want to read this NBC News. And like I said, I want to do a premium stream. Today's Wednesday, either tonight or tomorrow night. I got to go back to some of my videos, the podcast I made, and get some more information. But this was a former January 6th defendant who was arrested after showing up at the home of former President Barack Obama in 2023, was convicted Tuesday of illegal possessions of guns and ammunition. Now, there's a lot of false stories going around, even from people that claim to be on the right and don't know him like a lot of people got to know him. They didn't camp out next to him in Bunker Hill for weeks on end, watch him get kicked out of 1776 RM. And they are saying that this is more political prosecution from J6. This is not. I hate to say this, but there is some people. Now, do I say, I kind of talking to Rachel last night, and I probably misspoke. Now, he probably doesn't deserve to be in jail much longer, but he doesn't deserve to be out on the streets. This man has severe mental health issues. And if you guys remember, the night that he went to, or the afternoon that he went to Obama's house, outside of Obama's house, and was live streaming. This guy has said a lot of stuff. He said on live stream that he was going to blow up buildings. I mean, just beyond anything that you can consider that I can get behind and say, hey, this guy's normal. And so he was convicted yesterday. He has not been sentenced yet, as far as I know. He's been in jail for approximately 2 years now since that incident. We did a live stream that night. Yellow Sizzler, David Valentine, y'all remember Yellow Sizzler? Yellow Sizzler came on the podcast and we talked about it because Yellow Sizzler also had a lot of interaction with him. Both me and Yellow Sizzler were at J6, but this guy, you could put him in the same category as people as mentally unstable as Pissant. And I seen some things going around yesterday, and I had to bite my tongue of people saying, oh, this is more J6 political. No, this has nothing to do with J6. The warrant for J6 wasn't even unsealed. When he was in DC, so he is from Washington, and I think the FBI office in Seattle was the one handling his case for January 6th. If I looked up a lot of stuff last night so I could talk about it. If I remember, I think it was the Seattle FBI. They didn't even know he was in DC, even though he was out live streaming, talking about blowing stuff up and putting out all these different conspiracy theories. So just in case you see on Twitter that this is political persecution, the only reason I'm covering this now is to let you know this is not. This person was kicked out of 1776, I think, 2 times. He was asked to leave. He would show up. He's not well. I feel for his wife and his kids. I do. There's got to be some way to help him. But again, we say this all the time. Make mental health great again. Make insane asylums great again. And that's what needs to happen. So look forward to that. I got to see how much work I have to do to pull up my old podcast. They even played one of our videos in the courtroom a couple days ago. The video that me and David Valentine talked about when we were covering this story. They actually played that in court. And it's funny, there's even people out there blaming me that it was my show that got him convicted. And oh my God, it's just incredible. So if you're one of those triggered folks, stay triggered, y'all. Stay triggered. We're going to do our best to make sure that people like that are not on the streets. Again, maybe jail's not the answer, but something's got to be the answer. Yesterday, we covered a couple of different speakers that were speaking on behalf of young girls and protecting young girls at a school board meeting, and I didn't find this one yesterday. I want you to listen to this woke white woman. This is the definition of wokeness. When a male steals an opportunity from a female, you just got to deal with it, right?
But listen. We can encourage them to develop. And I'm a parent of 2 District 203 students, one at Lincoln and one at Central. Today, I speak to you in support of transgendered students and transgendered student athletes. I am proud to live in a state that protects a student's right to participate in sports that align with their gender identity. I thank you for supporting and following this law. Other parties will tell you that they believe this is a disservice to our cisgendered students, and especially our female athletes. As the parent of 2 students in the district, and as a woman, I reject the notion that allowing transgendered athletes to participate in sports is detrimental to our students. Losing a race is disappointing. It is okay for our students to experience disappointment. We cannot protect our children from all the disappointment.
It is okay for our children to experience disappointment. Yeah, that disappointment, though, again, this is just the woke left right here. So a disappointment would be if you worked hard and you trained hard and you got to that race and you were beaten out with somebody with the equal ability as you, right? They trained harder. They've done a little bit more than you. They maybe have better coaches. That can always be a possibility. But to put them up against a male, which is an unfair advantage to any female, and to say, just listen to this part again. This is insane.
Losing a race is disappointing. It is okay for our students to experience disappointment. We cannot protect our children from all the disappointments in life, but we can encourage them to develop resilience. This growth mindset will benefit them in numerous situations.
You know, I just look at this, and some people are going to say this is extreme. When and the left, depending on who gets busted over the next 2 years, they might just be defending rapists, male rapists, and say, hey, there's things in life that are disappointing, right? I can't imagine having that mindset. I have a daughter. Even if I didn't have a daughter, I would say this is unfair. This is not right. This is stealing. This is mental illness. This is so many things that are wrong. And you have people like this, and it's just disgusting. Yesterday, I'm doing a follow-up again. Yesterday, we covered the 3 boys that were... Let me play the video and we'll talk about it. This is an update.
Public school board meeting. 7 News was the first to report that 3 high schoolers have been accused of sexual harassment after they were recorded in a locker room voicing concerns about a biological female changing there.
Recording in a locker room is a violation of school policy, but it's the boys who are now under investigation. And
you hear that? The boys are being accused of sexual discrimination when a girl walked into their locker room and started recording them. The girl's not being charged. She's trans, so she's a victim. She's in a protected class. That class that's out there saying they just want equality when they're never held accountable, this alphabet cult community. Listen to the rest of this.
And our Nick Minach has been bringing you the very latest updates on this case as they continue to pour in, including a call this weekend from a local pastor, his show of support for these students. He joins us live now in Loudoun County.
And Nick, this meeting starts in about a half hour. It looks like you have a group standing with a strong message right behind you.
Yeah, and a lot of people have signed up in advance to speak at the Loudoun County School Board meeting tonight. In fact, more than 130 people have signed up to speak, many opposed to what is happening in Loudoun County. They're outraged about this policy that has allowed this to happen, and they're showing their support for these boys and their families. And as people come in, they're being greeted by this big sign that says restore girls only and boys only lockers, showers, and bathrooms, overturn Policy 8040. I want to go to Mai. I know you've been through some Title IX issues in the past. You've been helping these boys. What do you want LCPS to know tonight, and what do you want them to do about this Title IX case?
We want them to know that these charges should never have been out there in the first place. They're erroneous charges, and everybody deserves safe spaces. All these boys were doing were having a usual average conversation amongst themselves, and they are being just mistreated for it.
And you want them to drop this Title IX investigation. So thank you for chatting with us tonight. Abby, I want to go to you real quick. We've got about 20 seconds or so. We've chatted with you over the last few years. You've had issues with this policy right here with your boy and your girl. Tell us about that.
My son, well, as in the 5th grade, had a girl from his class come into the bathroom while he was standing at a urinal. And of course, that's super upsetting for a little boy to have a classmate come and see him. My daughter's had a boy in the girls' locker room and in the gym, and the gym and the bathroom. So we're looking to see just common sense restored where kids have their own privacy again.
And this all goes back to Policy 8040. It allows students to use whatever bathroom and locker room they want to use at school according to their gender identity. I'm also sure we're going to hear from supporters of this policy tonight. We'll bring that to you tonight at 10 and 11 on 7 News. Back to you.
You ask yourself, how did we get here? How did we get here? I know the Trump administration's fighting this. Loudoun County has had some really bad issues over the years, hiding things of that. Let's see. Listen to this. This is an update from last
Linda
night's board
Mansfield
meeting.
interrupted parents several times. Yeah, did Scott. Loudoun County School Board members Ann Donahue and Melinda Mansfield interrupted parents several times tonight when they showed their support for these boys and spoke about the situation at Stonebridge High School in that locker room. Donahue and Mansfield said by speaking about that during public comment, parents were somehow violating public comment rules. At one point, they even threatened to shut down the public comment period. Parents continued. And at one point, they did recess the school board meeting, so it did get tense. Take a look at this video. This school board meeting was packed, Scott. Hundreds of parents showed up to talk about this and about Policy 8040. Parents held signs asking the school board to repeal Policy 8040, which allows students to use bathrooms and locker rooms based on gender identity, not biological sex. We heard from the parents of all 3 boys under investigation by LCPS for Title IX sexual harassment for simply expressing their discomfort with the girl in the boys' locker room. Here's the mother of one of the boys who demanded the school board to drop the investigation and to her son. Take a listen.
To Loudoun County parents, what happened to my son and to the others involved could happen to yours. This policy has created a system where schools focus more on managing optics than protecting any of our kids. We cannot stand by while our children's safety and dignity are sacrificed for politics and appearances. I urge every parent to speak up, demand transparency, and insist that Policy 8040 be repealed immediately. Our schools must prioritize protecting all students, not punishing them. It's time to take action.
Yeah, and as 7 News was the first to report, a girl who identifies as a boy went into the Stonebridge boys' locker room with her phone, recorded the boys saying they were uncomfortable with the girl in the locker room, and the boys are the ones being investigated, not the girl who identifies as a boy. Now, 130 people signed up in advance to speak at this school board meeting. The vast majority of people who spoke about Policy 8040 were against it. They want the school board to repeal that policy, but a handful of people did come out to show their support for that policy. Reporting live in Ashburn, Nick Minock, 7 News.
Now, as Nick reported, the Loudoun County School Board meeting was packed, so much so that the line went out the door, as you can see in this video. Nick says LCPS wouldn't let people in even though the meeting was not at full capacity. After being forced to wait in line and still not let into that meeting, many parents left. 7 News is working to get answers from LCPS.
Sounds like that school board, again, we've seen this many times before. There's open seats and they want these people out of their hair because there's an agenda behind all this. And I'm hoping this school loses any federal funds it receives. I think because it's making national attention, you're going to see some people investigating that. Can you imagine? I just want to turn it around. I'm going to go back 15 years. 15 years, a boy walks into a girl's locker room and records them. That kid's expelled, facing criminal charges, and going to be shamed. This person, because they have a mental illness that everybody's hoisting up on a pedestal, it's the boys that are being filmed in the locker room that are under investigation. If you're anywhere near this school district, stand up, do something. It's disgusting what we're watching. I wanted to show you this video. This is JJ Smith. I tell you guys, I've showed some of his videos. He kind of documents everything going on in the San Francisco area. And daily, he's out there showing you the overdose deaths. He's out there showing you all the trash in the street. He's out there showing you how there's no accountability for these people, how the city just craps on them. And he goes, this was from yesterday. It says, today I showed Mayor Lurie videos of drug use inside his trade center on 6th and Market. I also showed him videos of mothers walking around with their kids and people are smoking fentanyl right there. I showed him people are selling stolen goods. His response was, me and other people who film and post videos on Twitter are damaging San Francisco's economy by showing what's going on. I'm going to play the video for you. You can't make this stuff up.
People on Twitter who've been hating on.
This is what families have to go through when they walk through there.
Wait, where are we talking about? On 6th Street or where?
This 16th.
16th. You don't have to tell me. I'm there every day.
I know. You see what the mother has to go through? They got to cover their children up to go through there.
Yeah, it's more, what do you think I'm doing, JJ?
Are you cleaning it up? I know you is. You clean. It takes time though, but the
Let
people.
me just say one thing to you about you doing the videos and push them out. It's also help. You can tell me I'm doing it, but
You're
also
doing it. I know
kills
you
our
are.
economy.
Yeah.
Think about we've got other people on Twitter who've been hating on our city for a long time. I know you love it. I see it every day.
Okay.
You don't need to show me.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't post it on Twitter. Let's hide it. They've been working on hiding this forever, and it's their own policies. It's their care and compassion. We're not going to arrest these people for shooting up right here on the street. Why would we do that? Let's give them a needle and some tinfoil to smoke that fentanyl. And I can't tell you how many times, who was it down there? I can't remember. I was down in San Francisco, and we were documenting some of that stuff years ago. And watching the people, I mean, this was like a block away from Twitter when Twitter was down there. And watching people maneuver around the needles and the people passed out on the sidewalk acting like it was normal. And I was like, I can't believe this is the United States of America. But it's not going to change. As long as we keep electing horrible, I wouldn't even call them leaders, horrible politicians, we're going to continue to see this. But for him just to say, well, when you post it on Twitter, all it does is hurt the economy. No, what hurts the economy is not having the policies to fix this. Check this out. This was shared. Perpetual victim, cop hater, and welfare queen. And no, we're not talking about Fresno's Des Martinez. I know you guys thought you're going for Des Martinez. No. Is now doing promo hit pieces against her employer, QFC Grocery. Instead of working hard toward a promotion, she's demanding more pay for bagging groceries. You can't make this stuff up. Listen to this.
You come here in the afternoon, anytime after like 3. You come here in the afternoon, anytime after like 3 o'clock, especially on a busy holiday weekend. It's very clear to everybody that corporate is not correct when they say we're fully staffed on cashiers. Hi, I'm Alicia. I work at the Inglewood POC in Kirkland. I've been here since the beginning of COVID in 2020, so 5 years, and I am the lead front-end supervisor. I had a very bad experience one night when I was by myself. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I had a gentleman come in and very aggressively tried to return an order that we found out it was just like a fraudulent return, but it was just me and like it was just me to handle that situation. And this person got very irate. He was yelling and screaming so loud I had other customers coming up and asking me if I was okay. At one point he threw a basket at me. And I remember being really worried that I was not going to be able to get him out of the store safely. Being a female in those.
Being a female, let me go back to that. It should have paused. But being a female, I thought we were equal.
You come here in the afternoon and coming home and asking me if I was okay. At one point, he threw a basket at me. And I remember being really worried that I was not going to be able to get him out of the store safely. Being a female in those kinds of situations where you're facing somebody who is bigger than you, taller than you, and they're very, very physically aggressive. That's a scary situation to be in when you're alone. I'm hoping corporate changes the level of being what they consider fully staffed so that we have adequate people to maintain not just, the security of the store during the day and at night, but also so that people, aren't having a line going all the way down to their register or their checkout lane. And also people deserve better pay.
I think she picked the wrong industry. She should be out at Starbucks right now protesting their uniform. It's just amazing. This person is one of those local activists, hates the cops. If somebody's getting violent, I'm sure the store's policy is you can't lay your hands on anybody. That's where we've come now because of Democrat policies. The store is held liable and not the criminal, which is policy she supports. And I just find it, this is just, with no progress, there are a few more sessions. It's just crazy, guys. It's just crazy. And again, I want people to go to work at a safe environment, a place where they can be. But if I don't want the people who voted for these problems, if somebody's doing an exchange that is fraudulent, call the police. Oh, wait, you want to defund the police? You've probably defunded the police, so it's going to take them 20 minutes to get there anyways now. Another incident. One of the things we do in California is we have what we call a mental health diversion. So people that would normally go to jail, and they can use mental health as an excuse, and they get what they call a diversion program instead of having to go serve time. And Sacramento Sheriff, check this out. It says, man fatally stabbed by suspect who skipped prison through mental health diversion. I love the fact that Sacramento Sheriff is calling this as it is. It says just before 8 p.m. on Sunday, May 18, 2025, Sheriff's North Patrol deputies responded to call of assault on the 10,000 block of Fair Oaks Boulevard in Fair Oaks. Upon their arrival, they discovered a 40-year-old male on the ground in a parking lot suffering from multiple stab wounds. Deputies began first aid until fire department personnel arrived, when he was unfortunately pronounced deceased at the scene. Sheriff homicide detectives and crime scene investigators responded to the scene, collected evidence, and interviewed witnesses. Detectives learned that the suspect, later identified as 25-year-old Jordan Murray, and other individuals engaged in a physical altercation with the victims. All parties separated when the victim ultimately walked away. A short time later, the victim encountered Murray and one of the other individuals from the earlier fight. Murray produced a knife from his pocket and began swinging it at the victim, striking it at least once in the chest, causing a mortal wound. Early this morning, detectives from Sheriff Major Crimes Bureau located Murray and took him into custody without incident in South Sacramento County. He has since been booked in the Sacramento County Main Jail and is scheduled to appear in court on May 22nd. It says in May 2024, Murray committed robbery at Dollar Tree on Sunrise Boulevard, where he sprayed an employee in the face with an unknown caustic chemical and fled the scene. On June 27, 2024, Murray robbed another local area business in Fair Oaks, spraying an employee in the face with an unknown caustic chemical before making off with an electric bike. As he tried to flee the scene, Responding sheriff's deputies were able to take him into custody and book him into jail. In November 2024, the courts granted Murray mental health diversion on both of those violent felonies and released him from custody. Only 6 months after his release from jail, Murray committed this completely preventable murder. This is Gavin Newsom's California, and I'm glad Sacramento Sheriff being up there at the state capitol are growing a little bit of balls to show people. So you have someone dead, you have a family grieving because our justice system don't want to put people behind bars. That's what it is. Really quick, I just wanted to show you this. Lee Zeldin, our EPA, from our EPA, one of Donald Trump's picks, was on Capitol Hill in one of the hearings today, and I want you to listen to what he says. He says, we all know, I don't think anybody likes Adam Schiff. Even in the Democrat Party, he's a weasel. Listen to this.
Mr. Zeldin, what is it about this grant that you and EPA believe is problematic enough to freeze this funding and put potentially 31,000 children at risk?
Senator, who is the grant applicant?
This is to the city of Santa Ana.
You have the biggest, you have the biggest state, so we have to go through every single list of the grant. Well, by the way, with that wind up, by the way, I understand that you were an aspiring fiction writer. I see why.
With that wind up, by the way, I see that you are an inspiring fiction writer. And listen to, that gets under the skin of Pencil Neck Schiff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I understand your view that you can cut half of the agency and it won't affect people's health or their water, their air. That to me is a big fiction, Mr. Zeldin.
You forgot about the fact of cleaning up
I have to think, Mr. Zeldin. I think, Mr. Zeldin, if your children were drinking water, if your children were drinking water in Santa Ana, Mr. Zeldin, maybe you wouldn't be so cavalier about whether there was lead in their water. Maybe you would give a damn instead of coming in here and suggesting that any grant that takes lead out of the water must be waste, fraud, or abuse because you need
time has expired.
Because you need the money for a tax cut for rich people because you're totally beholden to the oil industry. You could give a rat's ass about how much cancer your agency causes.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I just triggered the hell out of Adam Schiff, and I love it. If you guys missed the one yesterday, it was at the afternoon show where we covered a lot of that. I was just loving it. Check this out. Another investment in America. John Deere to invest nearly $20 billion over the next 10 years in expanding U.S. manufacturing. You won't be hearing about this on any your 5 o'clock news, your 6 o'clock news, your late night news, where they're looking for stuff they haven't covered. They won't be covering it, but this is what it is. John Deere plans to invest nearly $20 billion in America over the next decade. It has 25 billion U.S. hometowns economic impact. 2.5 billion invested in our American factories since 2019. U.S. supplier investments, manufacturing on American soil, which helps out U.S. Steel. 120,000 square feet addition to their Missouri facility, building new excavator factory in Kennersville, North Carolina, expanding the factory in Greenville, Tennessee, and building the 9RX tractor on a new assembly lines in Waterloo, Iowa. That's creating jobs. Those are things that Democrats said you couldn't get these companies to do. And so I just wanted to point that out. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time. But again, once again, we got this. Now, at the beginning of the show, I told you that what the DOJ, and we haven't been covering this too much. We've been covering a lot of things. I don't know if it's allergies. It might be allergies. It's COVID. I got to go get my horse paste. So the DOJ is closing a lot of lawsuits and police investigations that the Biden team started. What I mean by that is these far left activists that were destroying our streets, assaulting police officers, making communities less safe. They sued some of these police officers. We've seen it in Portland where there's a $5 million, like these same people that you see throwing bottles and rocks and Molotov cocktails at police sued the police. And because it was Oregon, won against the police. Somehow arresting them or kettling them was a violation of their First Amendment rights. That would never happen to any group I'm with. I can promise you that. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I want you to play this. I want to play this right here. This one has to do, this was Arizona 3 TV, CBS 5. And listen to this because this is just triggering the liberals. And it's good news this is happening.
The DOJ had been looking into actions by Phoenix police officers for a couple of years. And they picked 5 different categories. And among them were the way that Phoenix police officers used force in tense situations, the way they treated the homeless, the way they dealt with protesters' constitutional rights. Those are 3 of those categories. And what the DOJ found in their investigation was that Phoenix police, according to them, had been violating people's constitutional rights, and they had a pattern and practice of doing that. This was a very serious set of findings, but it's also a set of findings that Phoenix police and leaders from the city of Phoenix vehemently disagreed with. They admitted that there were problems. They said there were problems, but what they wanted to do and what the Phoenix Police Department has done over the past 2 years was implement reforms themselves. Their idea was, okay, you pointed out some problems, we're going to fix them on our own. Now, what was happening here was that the Department of Justice under the Biden administration wanted to set up a monitor, wanted to set up an agreement with the city of Phoenix that they would install somebody to oversee the police department. And that's been that issue for the past year. And today we find out that that is going away and that this possibility of expensive and lengthy oversight from the feds is now out the window.
So the accusations have been retracted. So we're still waiting for reaction from the Phoenix Police Department. I would imagine they will be very happy about this, whereas maybe some of the people involved in the incidents will not be.
Yeah, we're going to hear 2 different stories here from Phoenix city leaders, from Phoenix Police Department leaders, that this was the right thing to do, that if there were problems, they have taken care of them and they're working to improve them. But you do have a sizable population out there, people who said that they believe their rights were violated and that Phoenix police were violating their rights. And they're going to be very disappointed because they really believe that there were some systemic problems with the Phoenix Police Department and that they don't think that those problems got fixed and now will not get fixed.
It'll be interesting to see if any lawsuits come from this as well with the reversal of this. Now, in your reporting over the years, we know that you found some misstatements in the DOJ's findings. Bring us up to date on what some of those were that you discovered through your reporting.
Listen to this.
Yeah, this was a really interesting DOJ report. We took a pretty close look at it. And look, the Phoenix Police Department has a high number of shootings. Phoenix Police Department has a high number of situations where their officers use force. But we also have a high number of people here who shoot at police officers. And a high number of people who fight with police officers here. And so this is a tough situation out there for those police officers. And what we found when we looked at this report is the investigators didn't really take that into account. And there were some exaggerations. There were some misstatements, even about, how large the city of Phoenix was. There were just some mistakes.
Isn't that crazy that Biden's DOJ went after our actual law enforcement and tried to fudge some of talk about fiction, but tried to fudge the facts to make this police department look worse. And Trump's team is now fixing that.
Mistakes in that report that you wouldn't expect from attorneys from the Department of Justice. We've found about probably 10 glaring errors in a pretty quick review of it. And when we showed it to critics of the Department of Justice and people from the Phoenix Police Department, there were a lot of questions about, okay, if they've got this many glaring mistakes, what else is in there that is a little harder to identify? The other problem with that investigation that was released is that there were a lot of statements, bullet points, but not a lot of evidence included to back those up. And so it was like the Department of Justice was saying, okay, we found these things that are wrong, but you have to believe us that.
You have to believe us. So that's triggering people. This is going on across the country. I think it just happened in Minneapolis too. Again, this was set up, Biden's DOJ was set up to go after law enforcement for those that are upholding the rule of law. And again, I'm not a fan of bad cops. There are cities with a lot of bad cops. We've pointed them out. We go to these cities. They're just order takers from their left-wing liberal mayor. But there's a lot of good cops out there that want to do the job, that go out and put their life on the line every day. And those officers were the ones under attack. They leave their home not knowing if they're going to come back. And unfortunately, fortunately, we're on a different path now. And hopefully law enforcement will start doing their jobs. I'm not going to cover that one right now. We're already at 126. So there was an update yesterday. We covered the 24-year-old Venezuelan man pretending to be a 16-year-old Ohioan high school student we didn't have this information yesterday. For 1.5 years, we knew that he was pretending to be a student. When he enrolled, he forged documents, including an Ohio's driver's license, social security number, and DHS TPS document. He was even playing on the high school JV soccer and swim teams. Listen to this. This is insane.
In 2019 and was a recipient.
Listen to this. He went about his life as a teenage student at a high school in Ohio, but police that is all fiction, and that in reality, he's actually a 24-year-old Venezuelan migrant. Bill Malugin is following this wild story for us. Bill, what happened here?
Yeah, Aisha, really bizarre story out of the state of Ohio. That's where police have arrested a 24-year-old Venezuelan man who they say was pretending to be a 16-year-old unaccompanied minor. Also, he could attend a local high school, which he was doing successfully for almost a year and a half. Take a look. Police in Perrysburg, Ohio, arresting Anthony Emmanuel Labrador Sierra on Monday. He's now charged with felony forgery. DHS tells Fox he's a visa overstay who first came to the U.S. in 2019 and was a recipient of temporary protective status, aka TPS. He was arrested during a traffic stop in which he was the passenger of a car, and he's now facing charges for enrolling in the school fraudulently. According to the local school district, he was living with 2 adult legal guardians who contacted them after they discovered he was a 24-year-old man, not a teenager, reportedly after the mother of his child turned him in and revealed his true identity to them. The school district says when he enrolled, he had forged documents, including an Ohio driver's license, a social security number, and DHS TPS documents. He was even playing on the high school's JV soccer and swim teams. In a statement, the school district said the suspect's deception was complex and that multiple agencies were misled by his falsified records. Now, ICE does confirm to Fox News they have placed a detainer request on Labrador Sierra with local law enforcement. He's being held on $50,000 bond. His next court appearance is set for May 29th.
Social security number, fake TPS documents, driver's license in Ohio. Yeah, these illegals aren't voting. No, not at all. They're not voting. We've covered over the last couple months since Trump's been in office, even about a month before Trump got into office, if you remember, the Biden team started doing public border patrol sweeps in California and Bakersfield, Shafter, and a few other places to try to get the base riled up before Trump even got into office. And we've had AOC, we've had numerous Congress women and men go out, even assault our federal ICE officials. And listen to this. This is interesting. This was from Rep. Andy Ogles. And he said, this is Nashville State Representative Afton Ben. She just posted a 15-minute video of her and her friends stalking the Tennessee Highway Patrol as they carried out official duties, openly admitting they were trying to stall law enforcement from stopping illegal aliens. This is someone getting paid on your tax dollars, trying to obstruct our law enforcement. And Homeland Security came out with this, and then I'll show you the video. This administration is not playing games with the life and safety of our ICE officers. People doxing our officers are impeding ICE operations, are siding with vicious cartels, human traffickers, and violent criminals. While sanctuary politicians are fighting for criminal illegal aliens, POTUS, Trump, and Secretary Noem are fighting for the victims of illegal alien crime.
That they came up to my side, the state trooper came up to my side of the window and not Nikki's way. Hey, this is great. We've got our girl squad and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state trooper. So this is a win. Your favorite blonde state rep, her phone's always at 1%. I think my superlative is most likely to always have her phone at 1%. So,
Did you text that?
no, I'm still here. Okay, so we're waiting for my phone to charge. Let me send this to Emily and the girl. There we go. Okay. Did he let them go? Oh, people.
Us?
Yeah, they think we were arrested.
I
My life cut out. Yeah, well, it's because your girl can't keep her phone charged. So they're probably running our information. Nikki, tell us what's transpired tonight.
So we found the ICE and the THP people. I did not put makeup on it because this was not
Okay,
planned.
then I'll put it back.
No, I mean,
you're
it's
good?
fine.
Okay.
I've already seen it.
Okay.
We found the ICE and the THP people, and then we followed them to the gas station, and I took their spot at the gas station. So I think that made them a little upset. And then I tried to go in the gas station, go to the bathroom, but the gas station people would not let me go, even though I told them I really had to. And then when I got out, they were leaving, so I left too. And then they pulled into another parking lot. And when I pulled into the other parking lot behind them, then they flicked their lights to pull us over and accused me of running a red light.
So there we are.
So here we are.
Tomato.
Help.
Okay, why do you think that they came up to my side? The state trooper came up to my side of the window and not Nikki's window. Why do you think that happened?
Also, she did not have to give her ID. Am I correct?
She kind of looks like a man.
I know I'm correct because I asked this earlier.
So why do you think that the state trooper?
So this is what your tax dollars are going for, literally. That is a state representative out of Nashville, Afton Ben, and she posted a 15-minute video of her and her friends stalking the Tennessee Highway Patrol and ICE. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, both of them appear to be white liberals, and they want rapists, murderers. They want these evil people on the streets. The first thing that any elected person should want is, I know we're not going to get America first, but at least protect their constituents, their legal citizens in the areas that they represent, not defend criminals. And we've seen this time and time again. Speaking of that, just an update from the Washington Post. It says Rep. Monica McIver, Democrat out of New Jersey, is expected to make her first court appearance Wednesday on charges she assaulted 2 federal agents during a confrontation last week outside an immigration detention center in Newark. So I don't have updates on this yet, but we'll probably have updates on our second show. Hopefully those updates are posted by then and we could bring that to you. Since Trump and since the FBI and Department of Homeland Security has changed hands into the Trump administration and they're working on protecting America's citizens, this was pretty big. This was a A transnational gang that was busted in Los Angeles. And I want you to watch this. I mean, we need more of this. There's so much stuff going on right now. And I want you to listen. Look at the G-Wagon outside, by the way. But I want you to listen how much money worth of goods that they were doing.
Come to the front door. Fox News exclusively capturing this early morning bust of an Iranian-born man living in an upscale Los Angeles area neighborhood, luxury SUVs out front.
Police, hands up, hands up.
The suspect walks out of his home shoeless, surrendering on charges of interstate theft.
Stop.
Allegedly part of a scheme that stole $83 million in Amazon goods.
$83 million worth of Amazon goods, and me and you pay for that.
This particular individual is here on a visa. He's engaged in a tremendous amount of illegal activity.
He now faces prison and deportation if convicted. The operation members of two rival transnational gangs.
A lot of these organizations do exploit the local communities as well as their own communities from the countries that they come from.
According to court documents, they now face charges ranging from cargo theft to kidnapping and attempted murder. Some have ties to the Mexican Sureño gang and allegedly hired a member to carry out at least one assassination. Among the arrested, suspects born in Iran, Armenia, and Azerbaijan.
We're going after transnational criminal organizations, violent and organized crime, going out into the community and getting the most dangerous folks out of here.
Homeland Security tells Fox some of the suspects are in the country on fraudulent immigration papers, seeking asylum benefits they're not entitled to.
Matt, what was it like?
A lot of adrenaline, Aisha, and these are Armenian-led gangs with members from various countries, and they also work with the Mexican mafia. These are not recent border crossers looking for a job. This is a well-organized crime syndicate that has been terrorizing American neighborhoods. And Homeland Security and the U.S. Attorney here tells us that these types of busts are easier under the Trump administration now.
Imagine that. Imagine that. You didn't have stories like that. I would have gave DHS, I would have gave HSI, I would have gave them all credit, because these are the people we need to get off the streets. These are the people that need to be deported immediately. These are the people that judges are saying, no, they need to stay in the United States. Check this out. So DHS conducted deportation flights from Texas to remove some of the most barbaric and violent individuals illegally in the United States. No country on earth wants to accept them because of their crimes are so uniquely monstrous and barbaric. This was from Bill Malugan, and then we got some video. It says ICE identifies the 8 aliens on the South Sudan deportation flight manifest. All have egregious criminal convictions, including multiple murders and sex offenders. Only one of the persons on the flight is from South Sudan. The rest are from Cuba, Burma, Vietnam, and Mexico. It's unclear if South Sudan will be the final destination. DHS will sometimes remove aliens to third-party countries if their home countries won't cooperate with deportation. So let's take a look at these people. And a judge now has given an order, once again, another rogue, activist, communist judge wants these people back in the United States. And let's see who he wants back in the United States. Enrique Hierro, citizen of Cuba, convicted of a homicide, armed robbery, convicted of false imprisonment of an official, kidnapping, and robbery strong arm, arrested by ICE May 2nd. Jose Manuel Rodriguez Quinones, a citizen of Cuba, convicted of attempted first-degree murder with a weapon, sentenced to 4 years confinement, convicted of battery and larceny, sentenced to 10 months confinement, convicted of cocaine possession and cocaine trafficking, sentenced to 1 year and 3 months confinement, arrested by ICE on April 30th. This one here, Thongjae Nelakot, a citizen of Laos, convicted of first-degree murder and robbery, sentenced to life confinement, arrested by ICE on January 6, 2025. Jesus Munoz Gutierrez, convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to life confinement, arrested by ICE on May 12, 2025. Dean Peter Damak, a citizen of South Sudan, convicted of robbery and possession of a firearm, sentenced to 8 years confinement. Convicted of possession of burglar tools and possession of defaced firearms, sentenced to 18 months confinement. Convicted of driving under the influence, arrested by ICE on May 8th. What's the next one? Kiowa Maya, a citizen of Burma, convicted of lascivious acts with a child victim less than 12 years of age, sentenced to 10 years confinement, paroled after 4 years, and released back into our community, by the way. He was arrested by ICE on February 18, 2025. Niall Miet, convicted of first-degree sexual assault involving a victim mentally and physically incapable of resisting, sentenced to 12 years confinement, charged with aggravated assault, non-family strong arm. So this person raped a disabled person. Tuan Tan Fan, convicted of first-degree murder and second-degree assault, sentenced to 22 years confinement, arrested by ICE on May 3rd. This is what I voted for, folks. I don't know about you, but this is what I voted for. So listen to this. This is a district judge in Massachusetts has blocked the Trump administration deportation of these vicious illegal aliens, guys, to South Sudan. Take a listen.
Heinous individuals have terrorized was conducted yesterday by the U.S. government. We conducted a deportation flight from Texas to remove some of the most barbaric, violent individuals illegally in the United States. No country on earth wanted to accept them because their crimes are so uniquely monstrous and barbaric. These heinous individuals have terrorized American streets for too long. Every single one of them was convicted of a heinous crime: murder, rape, child rape, rape of a mentally and physically handicapped victim. Thanks to the courageous work of the State Department and ICE and the President's national security team, we found a nation that was willing to accept custody of these vicious illegal aliens. We are removing these convicted criminals from American soil so they can never hurt another American victim, American man, child, or woman. They can never attack witnesses, families, victims, or anyone else. Now, a local judge in Massachusetts is trying to force the United States to bring back these uniquely barbaric monsters who present a clear and present threat to the safety of the American people and American victims. While we are fully compliant with the law and court orders, it is absolutely absurd for a district judge to try to dictate the foreign policy and national security of the United States of America. These are the monsters that the district judge is trying to protect. The contrast is brutally stark. President Trump and Secretary Noem are working every single day to get these vicious criminals off of American streets. And while activist judges are on the other side fighting to get them back onto United States soil. Before I turn it over to Acting Director Todd Lyons, I would like to remind the journalists in this very room to do your job. We gave you the names of these monsters as you have right in front of you. Now tell the stories of the innocent Americans who they victimized. I implore you to stop doing the bidding of these disgusting individuals. Tell the stories of the innocents. It's the American victims who actually matter.
But these are the people that Democrats will fly to other countries and have margaritas with. They want these people. They're screaming today. They want these people back on U.S. soil. I'll never get it. Listen to the acting director, Todd Lyons. Let's take a listen to this.
So these individuals that are up here today, these represent the true national security threats and public safety threats that ICE officers and agents nationwide go after. I just want to go over a few of the highlighted cases that you all have in front of you. So, for instance, we have an individual that's convicted of homicide and armed robbery and served 15 years in confinement. Due to countries that won't take their citizens back, this individual was released back into the community under ICE supervision to prey upon people again. Another individual sentenced to life in confinement, convicted of first-degree murder. His country would not take him back, forcing ICE to have to re-release him back into the community to re-offend. As Tricia highlighted before, we have an individual that raped and sexually assaulted a mentally handicapped victim. Because his country would not take him back, ICE had to find a third country to take him back so we can remove this public safety threat. You know, as a career law enforcement officer and a career officer with ICE, I've been dealing with these recalcitrant countries for years, having to see repeated murderers, sex offenders, violent criminals re-released back into the United States because their home countries would not take them back. Yet under President Trump and under the leadership of Secretary Noem, we are now able to remove these public safety threats so they won't pry on the community anymore and they won't have any more victims in the United States.
It's just amazing what we are seeing, folks. I say we deport the judges. Let's just go for it. Let's go fully rogue. They're going to call us tyrannical. Well, we're deporting the judges too. But hey, I want to say thank you guys all for tuning in. Old Uncle Bill, thank you for the Zelle and helping us with the hotel room for our DC trip in 3 weeks. If you guys want to help out, we need your help. We're trying by the end of this week to book our hotel room for those days that we will be in DC. We will be there, I think, from the 12th through the 16th. We will be there for the military parade on the 14th. We will be bringing you that coverage live. I will be meeting up with Matt, First Amendment Media down there. We're going to be doing some awesome coverage, probably a lot of coverage as usual. So if you guys want to help out, I would appreciate it. It'd be a blessing so we can at least get the hotel room by the end of this week. And again, Old Uncle Bill, thank you. If you guys do want to help out,
Up here today, these represent the true national security.
It is Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do online banking and want to do a Zelle transfer, our Zelle address is on our website. You can go to theoreoexpress.com and you can click on the Donate Now button on our homepage. Just scroll down a little. There'll be that Donate Now button. And we thank you guys. Again, we want to get this all taken care of, hopefully by Friday. And then we'll worry about the rental car and some other stuff at that point. One thing at a time, right? And I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. We will be back later today for a show. I know we've been doing it around 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. This one might take a little bit more time because this show went over. So it'll be between 3 and 4 hours from now. Make sure your notifications are on. Make sure you are subscribed. And again, thank you to everybody who is a member on our Rumble channel. You guys make the lights, camera, actions all possible, guys. So we will see you here shortly. And we'll be back with any breaking news and some more updates. God bless.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Well, hop above the
don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll.